All right, YouTube family, what is up? So I'm about to bring on a guest for the first subscriber, first wholesale deal interview. And the reason why I bring on these first interview, because I want you guys to understand that it's not just me who's wholesaling. It's regular people just like you and I are out there right now are wholesaling. Because a lot of you ask me and say that, hey, Kong, does wholesaling still work? Is it too saturated? So I want to let you guys know that I'm bringing on regular people work at a regular JO to B, all right, and then discover wholesaling. They got in, they took action, and here they are closing their first deal. And, my whole thing with doing this is hopefully it gives you the inspirations, the motivations, the self-confidence, and the self-belief that you too can actually do this, okay? They said it's nothing special. The only difference from you making $30,000 a year to $30,000 a month is knowledge. Knowledge plus execution is power. So knowledge without execution is worthless. So I'm here to give you the knowledge, to give you the information that you need to change your life and most importantly, your bank account. But nothing works if you don't. So you got to implement whatever that I'm going to share with you on today's video. Okay. Now, before we get into that as well, because I'm waiting for my guest to come on, one of my students, is I want you to join my 3-day challenge. It's completely free, where I will take you through the 3-day challenge. I'll give you the replay, actually. I'll give you the replay completely for free. It has helped so many people close their first or their next coming deal. All you need is a laptop, a phone, an internet connection, and $150. Now, the $150 is for the software that I'm going to share with you that allows you to wholesale completely virtual, completely from the comfort of your own home. I also want you to understand that you don't need an office space. You don't need a ton of employee to build $1 million business. Literally, you can do it with just you and maybe 2 or 3 employees. That's it, to build $1 million business. And you can operate from anywhere, from home, from freaking Hawaii, from Bora Bora, Cancun, Mexico. Doesn't matter where you go. All you need a laptop, a phone, an internet connection, and $150 for the software. I'll show you exactly how it's done. So TikTok family, if that is you, check the link in my bio. YouTube family, that 3-day challenge is completely free, costs you nothing, but the link is in the descriptions. Now the knowledge is free, but the hustle is sold separately. Okay, so link is in the descriptions. And also Tuesdays, for those of you who just recently discover the channel, discover me, dude, welcome to the family. Be sure to smash that subscribe button. My mission in life, I realize now that I was thinking for the last couple of days, and I said, Colin, what is your mission in creating content and doing all of this? And a lot of people have also DM'd me and said, hey, Colin, why are you doing all this? Why are you giving out the free game? Why are you creating competition? So I realized that my mission, dude, is to help you escape the J-O, the B. That is my ultimate mission. My mission is to help all of you escape the J-O, the B. The reason why is because I was stuck at that J-O, the B 20-something years ago, hated it. I worked there for 8 years until I worked there for 8 years to make $30,000 a year. I'm going to show you how you can do that in a month. $50K in a month, $100K in a month. Okay? So my goal is to help you escape that J-O to B, build your own virtual wholesaling operation so you, my friend, can become financially independent. Being able to control your own schedule, control your own time, work whenever you want. And that's my ultimate goal. Okay? Dylan, what up, man?
Can you hear me?
Dude, I can hear you. Dylan, how old are you, man?
I'm only 18.
Yeah, dude. So my last interview, I think I brought on, I can't remember his name, but he was only like 19 or 20. Dude, I'm so shocked that I'm getting some young cat that are hustler and that is just crushing in the game, man.
Yeah, man. It's been crazy. I've been in it for about a year and a half now. I got into the business
when you were 17?
Yep, 17. I was in my junior year.
Okay. And how do you discover real estate?
I discovered real estate, honestly, just, social media. It was, pretty popular back then. So I decided to get into it.
Okay.
From there, honestly, I just started out like the freebie method, cold calling, all that type of stuff. And then I actually started some real marketing. And that's when I, closed my first couple of deals.
Gotcha. So when did you close your first deal?
It was about close to the beginning of Q4 last year. So
Okay.
like September, October-ish.
Okay. And Dylan, how much did you make on your first deal?
That first deal, I think it was a smaller assignment. It was in Philly. It was like a $10,000 assignment.
Dude, small. The guy's like, it's small, dude. 10,000. That's a lot of money, man. So
Yeah.
now, how big? How big is your most recent deal that you closed?
Most recent deal was in Jersey. I think that one was a $20,000 assignment.
Oh, nice. Okay, and is that the one that we're gonna talk about?
Yeah, we can talk about that one.
Okay, dude. No, but Dylan, here's what I like to do, dude. I like to talk about the first $10,000 deal, and then we can talk about your most recent one.
Go for it.
So, what was the biggest struggle when you first started out, man? Do you remember?
Oh, the first struggle was honestly just trying to do it the freeway. Cold calling, stuff like that. I was doing that for 7 months straight. I was putting in more than enough work needed. I was, 8-10 hours a day. And during that time, I was also working jobs. So I was saving up my money.
Yep.
Eventually, I was kind of getting tired of it. I was like, all right, I can spend my time better, just like working leads. So at that point, I did some Facebook marketing. I have a close friend and now who's a business partner of mine.
Nice.
That runs Facebook marketing. He has an ad agency. So that's what he
Okay.
does. That's what he's good at. Paid him to do some ads for me. And then from there, started getting some actual decent leads. And that's when I picked up traction. So my main first struggle was just trying to do it the freeway.
Gotcha. And so when you first started, the freeway was just cold calling, driving for dollars.
I never even drove for dollars. I pulled a list. I think I used PropWire and then Titan Skip, if you ever heard of them.
Yep. And then you just on the phone.
Yep, just on the phone all day.
Okay, and that didn't work out until you started the Facebook ads.
Yep.
Okay, so now how much did it cost you to run Facebook ads?
I kind of had an advantage there because my partner obviously ran a Facebook ad agency. So I wasn't paying anything in like a retainer. I believe our original spend was about $100 a month. Or not $100, not $100 a month, a day. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah, a day.
So you have $100 to spend per day.
Yep.
So that's what, about $3,000 a month?
Yep.
And within that first month, did you land your first deal?
No, it took a little while. It was actually through follow-up.
Okay.
Yeah. So we paused our campaign for a bit, and then a lead came back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Dylan, so my question to you is how much do you spent to actually generate your first lead?
I think in total, like between like the data and like all the cold calling stuff I was doing, obviously I was paying for a dialer. I probably close to broke even on my first deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So you dropped 10,000 to come back and make 10,000, but it taught you obviously a lot of stuff.
Of course.
Okay. So with that first deal, how do you find your buyers?
So one of my partners has Investor Lift where we have Cartel. Okay. So that was obviously the biggest way to find buyers. And then also local networking events. So I just got out, shook some hands, met some guys who actually buy. And that's where I found like the best high quality buyers.
Gotcha. So at the local RIA?
Yeah.
Nice. And how long did it took you to close your first deal? Like from the time that you got it under contract to the time that you found the buyer and assign it?
About a month.
Okay, so 30 days. Okay. And then how long after that did you close another deal?
About a month because we had our marketing pause, so we weren't getting as much follow-up.
I see.
And then once we kind of got it all back and rolling, like the business was paying for itself.
Yep.
The funds were rolling back over. That's when we started to close deals again.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're still running Facebook ads?
Right now I'm actually partnered with someone, so I don't do my own thing anymore. I'm kind of partnered with the same guy who did the social media company or the ads company. Okay. And we're running Facebook and Google right now.
Okay. So explain to me how that works. So does he put up the capital to run it, and then you're the one who's closing deal?
Yeah. So I mainly handle our dispo, and then just also like back end stuff like that.
Okay. So you handle the dispo, but who's the one who's handling taking the property under contract?
We have acquisitions guy.
Okay.
Yep. And
how many people do you have?
I think right now we have 2 VAs, me and the acquisitions guy.
Okay. And how do you pay them? You on commission or hourly?
commission.
Okay.
VAs are hourly.
Okay. And they're from where? Philippines, Egypt?
Philippines, yeah.
Okay. Got you. So your VAs are the one who filter and qualify the lead.
Yeah.
Do they do any negotiating or locking the property up?
No. That's we literally just screening, and then they get handed straight off to the acquisitions.
Okay. So how many VAs do you have?
Just 2.
Okay, so you got 2 VAs that filter and qualify the leads for you 24, obviously 8 hours a day.
Yeah, it's a weird scenario. So my partner, he was running a full scale shop. He was doing like $100,000 a month before. So he had a lot of old leads. So our VAs aren't like traditionally just like cold calling lists. They're actually just sifting through old warm kind of. So they're basically warm calling, sifting through old warm leads.
Okay. Now, dude, so your partner has an agency that was just running ads for people?
Yeah, so he was running the agency, and then he also had his own real estate business.
Oh,
Yep.
I got you. And okay, got it. And then you came in, you'd be like, okay, I see now. And so 2 VAs, and it's just you and another person who's the acquisition, right?
I'm not actually acquisition, so I mainly just handle all of our dispo. So I'm the one who talks to the buyers. Yeah.
So who's the closer?
His name is Dalton.
Okay. He's the closer.
Yes, he is.
So you got one closer.
Yep.
Okay. And then he closed, and then he just handed off to you.
Yep.
Damn. Okay. So you got a guy that's crushing it at running ads. You got a guy that's just a closer.
Yep.
And you're just a master at dispo.
Yep.
And then boom, that's it.
Boom. That's the whole thing.
Dude. Okay. So damn, I love it, man. Okay. Dude, I mean, listen, man, every single time when I get someone that's young like this on, man, dude, it pumps me up, man, because when I was 18, dude, I was lost. I was nowhere near. I didn't even know about real estate, obviously. I was working at a JOB making $8.50 an hour, man, and you guys are here making $10,000, $20,000 a month. Damn.
Yes, sir.
So, Dylan, explain to me now, dude, is about this $20,000 deal. How do you found it? What's the seller motivation? How long it took you? How do you find the buyers?
Yep. So let me actually pull up my notes. So the buyer on this one was actually one of the biggest buyers in Jersey. They run a bunch of the events in Jersey, and we built a pretty good connection with them. So we just literally, the dispo was 15 minutes after we got locked it up, shoot them a text. They gave us the green light, and they bought it for $245. We had it at $225.
Okay.
This deal was in Sewell. I think it was an old cold call lead. I could be wrong. It might have been an inbound lead. The motivation was divorce. So the guy had his wife, they divorced, and they both mutually agreed to sell the property. The guy really didn't care what they got for it. The lady was a little bit more on the haggling side. So that's where we had to pull some strings. Got him down to that 225 number. And yeah, it was an easy, so it was a really easy deal. No issues really. So,
I want to know is, so what was the asking price?
I think they were asking in the 250 range. So like borderline, they already came in. They were asking like that's borderline a deal. Could have been a very small assignment at that price. And then we got them down to 225, and then inevitably got it assigned for 245.
Okay. Dang. Okay. So they wanted 250.
Yeah.
You guys got them down 25,000. Lock it up and sold it within 15 minutes and make 25 G's.
Exactly.
Or 20 G's. Damn. Okay, so the buyer was the one that's at your, they're the one that runs the local RIA.
Yep. They're the huge company in South Jersey.
I got you. Okay. Yep. So Dylan, so how many deals have you closed since your first one?
I think, let me pull up the HUDs.
And how much are you guys spending on marketing now?
Well, right now, since we just kind of started up this new partnership and we're working with more capital, I think we're spending in the 5 figures now. I think like
10,000 a month.
A little more than 10,000 a month.
Damn. Okay.
Facebook and Google.
Okay.
Deals closed probably 10 or 12 now. Okay.
And year to date, how much you guys make already?
This year, so it kind of weird how, so during like December, January, it was slow because my partner actually separated from his one partner and then partnered with me. So the company was like in like a regrowing process.
Okay.
This month we have about 5 in escrow.
Nice.
But early this year, like January and February, we barely had any closings. Like we had like 1 or 2 that were left over. And that
Sure.
was kind of like our rebuilding.
Yep.
March, I think we had another like 2 or 3. And then April, same thing. And then this month we really started to pick it back up. We got our closer in place. And now we have about 5 or 6 in escrow that are waiting to close.
Dude, congrats, bro. And then if all of those close, dude, how much are you making?
This month was supposed to be over 80 grand.
Damn, dude. Bro. Dude, congrats, bro.
I appreciate it.
So, I mean, so what did you guys game plan out? I mean, are you guys locally wholesale, or are you guys going like virtual and taking over other states as well?
Oh, no. So we're virtual. We do. So our marketing is kind of like our inbound marketing is more targeted, like broader. So
Okay.
more states. But our outbound marketing, so we have a couple cold callers, not many.
Yep.
They target Jersey and Philly, and then we're mainly looking to buy in those areas.
You guys are buying and holding as well?
No, flipping.
Okay. Oh, you guys gonna buy, fix, and flip it?
Yeah, my partner's done like 10 flips. So.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. So instead of wholesaling, that I mean, okay. So you guys also wholesale,
Like a mix.
Guys,
yeah, like a mix.
Okay, you guys do fix and flip, or are you guys gonna do some holding as well?
Probably like personally.
Okay.
Not. I don't think like anytime soon. I don't think I would really hold unless it made sense.
Sure. So now, Dylan, let me ask you, dude. Are you going to college?
No.
Okay.
I'm still in high school. I graduate in like 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, are you planning to go to college, or after you graduate, you're just going to go all in on this?
All in. Yeah. All in.
Okay. Now, would you recommend? I mean, I guess I shouldn't use the word recommend.
Yeah.
But for let's just say for people who are like the same age as you.
Yep.
Who is wanting to get in, and then their parents also say, hey, go to college. They just now confused of which path to take.
Yeah. So, I mean, my parents were the same way. They were kind of shifting me towards the college route. I have Asian parents, so you know how that is.
Wait, Dylan. What nationality are you?
I'm Japanese.
Okay. Nice.
Yep. So my parents were like, all right, college route, probably the best fit. But I've always kind of been around like entrepreneurship. Like I always wanted to do something. I tried a bunch of businesses in the past. So it really depends. Like in my scenario, I just had to prove them that I could make money. And that was my escape. So if you have, I mean, I kind of said that like faith in myself, like I was just going to make it work. Once I made a commitment to real estate, I knew I wasn't going to switch again and kind of try and figure a new business model. So I would say it kind of depends. Recommend someone to get into it 100%. I think you should always know something about real estate, whether you're in any industry, because it's always a good investment, no matter what.
For sure.
But to go like all in on it and to make it like a full-time career, it really just depends on how willing you are to do that, because it is a risk.
For sure. Mm-hmm. So now, okay. So the follow-up questions I want to ask you, Dylan, is that you also work at a job and then doing wholesaling as a side hustle.
So I worked, yeah, exactly. So my dad owns a plumbing company in South Jersey.
Okay.
So I was working under him for a good amount of time, like whenever I could really fill it in. Like it was obviously my dad, so I could kind of do whatever I want with the hours. And then I also worked on a golf course Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yep. So I was basically working like 5-6 days a week. And the whole goal behind my 9 to 5, like I wasn't just aimlessly working, just trying to save up 10 grand because that really wouldn't do anything for me. I was more so just doing that just to fund the business, because I knew eventually I wanted to switch into the paid route. I just didn't really have the confidence in myself to do it. I didn't really think I was good enough on the phone. My numbers were always off. I would always get opinions on my on my underwriting, and it would just be like all over the place. So I really wanted to, just stick with the process, stick with the calling, stick with the, the grit work and the labor until I got to the point where I was confident and I had enough capital built up to the point where I could sustain some marketing for a little while. And that's kind of how it went.
Okay. Now, Dylan, okay. How long did it took you to close your first deal?
It took about 7 months, 6 months.
Okay. Throughout the 7 month, man, most people would have gave up already.
Oh yeah.
So what kept you going?
I've been in every business you could name: YouTube, drop shipping, tried TikTok shop for a while, all of it. And I was at the point where I was like, all right, I got to make something work. I can't just keep jumping from ship to ship. I knew real estate was kind of, it's like real estate. It's like, it's actually real. It's a business that could sustain me for the rest of my life. So I was like, all right, I'm going to stick with this, make it work. It wasn't really like, give up was an option.
So, dude, okay. Dylan, what you just say there, man, I want everybody to understand this, okay? I used to be also that guy. And I get people ask me too, so Kong, like, why do you choose real estate? And the reason I didn't choose real estate, the wife is the one who actually chose real estate. But I was just, but I was just the same thing. I was just that person, same thing. I was finding the shiny objects, trying to get rich quick, watch some YouTube video, and it caught, dude. I said, dude, this is easy. Maybe this for me. And then I tried it. I hit a brick wall, boom, quit, and then move on to the next one. And just like all of you, are doing the same thing. But I'm telling you, what you need to do is you just need to pick one and then just go all in and just focus and then just commit.
Exactly.
Because there is just no success overnight. It just doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. Now, Dylan, what I want to ask you now is that you try all of the other stuff. How long did you try it for?
How long did I try? Oh, I've been in all of this stuff. So the first time I ever made money online, I was literally like 9 years old. I got lucky, and one of my Clash of Clans YouTube videos got like 4 million views. So that was first, that was the first ever like real kind of type of money I made. It was like a couple grand. That was a lot at the time. So I knew online money was always a real thing. I always knew you can make money on your phone, off your laptop. From there, it was kind of just like, based on like the trend, like me and my one of my business partners now on the education company we run. I played a lot of Fortnite with him, and we used to make a lot of money off that because we had a YouTube channel, and then we also played competitively. So that was another thing we made money off of. And then everything else, like it was really over the span of like my entirety through high school and like 8th grade started out. We've tried starting a clothing brand, tried drop shipping, tried starting a power washing business and going door to door. Yeah. Like everything. And so, I mean, I've been trying to make money for quite a long time now. But obviously real estate's only really been around for the last like year and a half for me.
Love it, man. You know what? There's one thing that Mark Cuban said that I always carry with me now. Mm-hmm. He said, listen, you don't need to be right on 10 things. Exactly. You just need to be right on one thing. And that one thing, dude, will make you rich. Yeah. So we try. It didn't work, dude. We found one. And then now, dude, the rest is history. So, Dylan, what are some tips, advice that you can give to the people who are obviously watching, haven't closed their first deal? They're probably in the situation where they're like, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know if this is for me.
Yeah. So my best advice to see success in this business, like wholesaling real estate, a lot of people preach, the freebie method, seller finance, creative finance, stuff like that, where you can, call agents, do it for free. You don't really have to pay for leads. I think that business relies too heavily on luck. I don't really endorse that type of method. I think that if you want to get into a business, it needs to be something that's replicable, and what's replicable is marketing. Like everyone's done specific types of marketing. I've ran SMS campaigns. I've ran cold calling campaigns, Google ad campaigns, Facebook campaigns. I could basically, if someone had the skill set, if you gave me 10 grand, I could guarantee that you would make a return on your money just because I know how to do the marketing, right? So I feel like the paid method in wholesaling will not only speed run your way to the finish line to see success, but I think it's really the only way to get into it nowadays because you have so many people like trying to cold call. Like every seller's heard a cold call pitch now. That I feel like it's really the best way to do it is getting in the paid way. And also, if you just think of it in terms of like leveraging your time, right? So if you go out and work for $15 an hour, just like a minimum wage job, you'll always beat the guy who's sitting at home calling for those 8 hours instead, because with those $15 an hour, you could pay 3 VAs to do 3x the output than the person who's just sitting at home cold calling. So you can always pay, or you can always work for some type of income that's secured, and then pay and leverage your time that way. So you have some leads to work.
Dude. So, Dylan, what are the 3 things that you can give to someone that they can do today?
Today.
Yep. That will help them get closer to closing their first deal, man.
For sure. I think you need to have a baseline of skills. So if you're not called up to date, if your underwriting's iffy, if you are kind of not confident at giving out offers, if you don't have a buyer's list, like you don't have any buyers in mind, you don't have a network at all, I think those are 3 things you can work on right away.
Nice.
Underwriting, you can literally find random houses and just practice on them. That's what I did. I would just underwrite random properties, try and figure out what I would offer for them. Second thing you could do is you could just call FSBOs. Those are already people who want to sell. I don't think it's great for finding deals and making money, but I think it is great for practicing your acquisition script and just getting a seller to talk to you. And then the third thing, it's always great to talk to buyers because they're actually people doing real estate, the people doing the business. So you can learn a lot from them. And oftentimes, if you come to them with some type of like value proposition, they're going to be really willing to talk to you. Like when I was starting out at networking events, that was probably the best thing I've ever done, is going to networking events, because most people my age were not doing that. Like a lot of people in the business don't do that, but people who are successful in the industry and people who have been in it for a long time really like that for some reason. Like I had a bunch of guys come up to me. They were like, wow, dude, you're young, you're getting into it. How can I help? Stuff like that. How can I point you in the right direction? How can I be of service to you? And that was a pretty crazy feeling, because it's like guys that actually make money, guys that are in the business succeeding, are coming up to me, asking me how they can help me when I'm really at that point, no value to them.
I love it, man. Dylan, one last question, man. What is the hardest thing? So what do you think, like the biggest skills that a person needs to master basically in wholesaling for them to succeed? Like out of all the skills, what do you think the number 1 skill is?
For sure, communication. Just general sales, talking to people, having a strong voice.
I agree.
That's it.
100%. So Dylan, what are some last words that you want to say to the people, man, so we can wrap this up?
Hey, man, I mean, thanks for having me on. I appreciate talking to you. If you guys want to get into real estate, I think it is the best thing to get into, obviously, because it's recession proof. There's so much money to be made in real estate. It's just a great thing to get into. And you can honestly stack it on top of what you're doing. Like you don't really have to take too much risk to get into real estate. You can take a risk adverse approach, still work your job, just sacrifice those last couple hours after your shift or that free time that you would otherwise spend doing, stupid shit. You can translate that into learning real estate, learning the business, and it'll pay off tenfold.
Dylan, I want to say, dude, thank you so much for taking time to jump on here to inspire, to motivate other people. And dude, the way that you speak, bro, it's just so good.
I appreciate it.
Hey, I suppose that you have your own social media?
Yeah.
Nice, bro. So for those of you who want to follow Dylan, I'll make sure that I'll leave his link right in the descriptions. Dylan, can you text the girl your social media link?
Yes, sir.
Sounds good. Dylan, I appreciate you, man. Until next time, dude. Take care, bro.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Have a good one, Dylan. Dude, every single time when I get this young cat on here, man, it pumps me up so freaking bad, because I remember when I was 18, 19, I was nowhere near close to what they're doing. I was not as driven. I was not as, dude, it's like the way that he even talked, it just sounds really, really, really good. Okay. Like when I say that, it's like, the way that, he carry himself and the choice of word that he used. Dude, so good. Okay. So anyways, there's some things that I do agree with Dylan, is that, dude, it's like, it takes money to make money. At the end of the day, everyone is trying to do the free way. Okay. But if you have the capital, all right, to do the pay way, you have the upper hand. You have the upper advantage of those who's trying to do the free way. And the free way is always the hardest way. But obviously you got to do what you got to do. If you don't have the money, then you got to do what you got to do. But I believe that you can always find the money to invest. Just like the software that I'm sharing with you on how you can actually find distressed property in any city, any states, from the comfort of your own home. All right. You can go on there, you can build your own motivated seller lead list that you can actually target. You can cold call, you can send text message, you can, do direct mail, right? It's like, but I get people who'll be like, hey, Colin, well, I don't have $149. Well, dude, your dinner last night probably cost more than $149, So the thing is, like, I like to say there's only two types of people in this world. One is people who make money. Two is people who make excuses. But only one of them will make you rich. So the question is, which one are you? So once again, like, you can find the capital. There's things in your house that you can probably sell, right, to accumulate some capital so you can invest in something that actually gets you moving towards your goal. And I believe that in today's world, the best way is you got to be able to build your own lists. Okay? You got to be able to build your own motivated seller leads. And I remember when I first started 12 years ago, I would have to download a bunch of software. And it cost me about $1,000 a month. Okay? For all the software that I used to have, we canceled all of them already. To now, with this software doing everything that all the other software do, and it's truly a one-stop shop. And for those of you who don't know which software I'm talking about the software that I've been showing you. It's called kingdata.ai. It's right there, kingdata.ai. Okay? And for any one of you who signs up, I will pay for your skip tracing. So never have to worry about paying for skip tracing again, right? So you can go on there, you can pull the list, and with one click of a button, it'll show you all the phone numbers, the email address, the contact info, everything for you to actually get a hold of. Like to say if you drive for dollars and you found a property, a rundown house or a vacant house, you take down the property address, you go to the software, you put it in, and then bam, right? It shows you all the property informations, when the seller buy, like all the details about the property, when it was bought, how much they owe on it, what like all of that. Okay. So that's the thing that you guys got to understand. Okay. So the info's there. The choice is yours. All right. Good luck. I look forward to seeing you closing your first deal. Look forward to bring you on an interview. Okay. Just like this one. So if you do close your first deal, please DM me, email me, reach out. And for those of you who want to JV, who's like, hey, Colin, I got a property and a contract. I love to JV with you. All you need to do is email it over to jvdeals@wtmfam.com. And dude, let's work together and let's make money together. All right. Until next time, take care. Let's go get this money. I'm out, YouTube.